Okay, world record speed run, kind of. We'll explain later on. So this run actually is this even the run? I think I die here too. Hold on. Yo, I might have trolled. I don't remember having a repulsion and a certain. This is definitely not the run. Hold on, guys. Here we go. All right. World record speed run, Huntress Eclipse Gauntlet, kind of. I'll explain at the end. So, or you'll find out at some point in this video. So I've been doing these speed runs for about 3 months now. It's been a long time. It's been a long time for sure. I had the record for a brief moment, and then My Angel is K came and took it, and then he dropped it like 2 additional times. The run currently stands at 19 minutes and 22 seconds, which is absolutely crazy fast. Definitely takes a lot of skill, but definitely takes a lot of RNG as well. Hence the 3 months. So this is the run that coulda, woulda, shoulda. And this run actually starts fairly well. I have 65 gold at 45 seconds. That's actually insane. Some runs, I can't tell you how many runs I had where it took upwards of, chat, please, not right now, chat, not right now. Where it took upwards of, I'm not kidding, like 2 minutes to get that much money. Armor piercing round is fantastic. AP rounds and watches are the 2 most important ones for sure. Crit is also pretty important, but both AP rounds and watches give you 20% damage per stack. Obviously, the crit helps a little bit as well. So AP rounds and watches, the watches have the downside of breaking, but if you're breaking your watches in this speed run, like, you're gonna lose your run anyway. You just need that damage. Vagrant is actually the easiest boss on stage 1, unironically, on Huntress at least. The Vagrant is a blessing to see. I could do a double Mountain Shrine stage 1 with no damage items just fine with Vagrant. I mean, hypothetically speaking, maybe I'll make some mistakes here and there. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is Vagrant is by far the easiest boss. Ice Band, armor piercing round. This is already a fantastic stage 1. Fantastic stage 1. Now here's where the first mistake comes in. You'll see, I'm actually gonna crank this up, boys. I'm gonna crank this up to 2x while we do this, just so we can save some time. So AP round, Ice Band, already fantastic start. I make the mistake of coming over here. What time did I start that? TP is done at like 2:43. 2:43, I come over here because I thought it was a chest. It was a sentry. I should have known that. Like, even if that was a chest, the chance of it being worth those 20 seconds. 25. Wow. 20. No, because minus the it was like 20. It was like 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Right there. Minus the. You may be thinking, oh, 20 seconds. That's not like a huge deal. When the world record is 19:22 for an entire Risk of Rain 2 run on max difficulty, that's a lot of time. 20 seconds is a lot of freaking time. So that's a big mistake. Luckily, I don't think I make too many more mistakes going up to the Mythics fight, as you'll find out here. I killed the Gup here. I really don't like world spawn enemies. World spawn enemies at this point just make me mad. What a world spawn enemy is, instead of spawning in at some point, wow, that's so lucky as well, hitting the base right there. That was so freaking lucky. Instead of the enemy spawning in naturally while you're playing the game, what happens is the enemies will already be on the stage when you arrive, and for whatever reason, they give you like 80% less gold when that happens. So normally the Gup is a godsend in a speedrun because they give you mega money. They still give you pretty good money for a world spawn enemy. But because it was world spawn, it gave me like barely enough money for 1 chest. Whereas if I kill that guy, another Ice Band, huge dude. If I would have killed him otherwise, it would have been like 3 chests. Anyway, world spawn enemies, cringe. I just wanted to say that. So, double Ice Band already. TP items, I can't tell you how many days we had where it was just garbage TP item the entire time. The entire time. Like, getting double Ice Band on the first 2 stages is incredibly lucky. I kind of prefer Ice Band on the Mithrix fight. Just gives you all that damage right away. And Mithrix is so mobile. He's so nimble. He just keeps moving around left and right, left, right, front, and center, that he's just going to move out of the Fire Band. So the a Fire Band is probably better. If you have at least 1 Fire Band, you're set. I would rather have 1 Fire Band and the rest Ice Bands, personally. There might be some people that disagree with that, but I think the Ice Band is really strong. You can't really go wrong. You need both bands for sure, but you can't really go wrong. So I popped the Blood Shrine on the way out of stage 3, which was fantastic. So we got a little bit extra money here. I had the vase. I farmed up there. Luckily, it was worth it. Now, this normally would not have been worth it at all to spawn into a stage and then start farming it. This normally would not be worth it whatsoever, especially when I already have these items that I have. A vase, my skip. The skip is the most important part. I'm sorry. I should probably explain this just in case if you guys haven't ever watched a Risk of Rain 2 speedrun, or if you haven't watched the streams consistently, whatever. The eccentric vase equipment, this little boy right here, is essential. If you do not get this, you do not get the world record. It doesn't matter how much damage you have. I had plenty of runs where I had the damage, but I didn't get the vase, the skip, so it just wasn't the run. Like, you have to get the vase because it saves so much time. It's really just not quantifiable to compare other skips to the vase. You just cannot. The best possible run with a vase is better than the best possible run without a vase, for sure. Period. End of story. The vase is essential, so I was really lucky to get that on stage 3. My point is, when you finally have your skip and you have some damage, you just need to book it to the teleporter and pray that you get good RNG. Again, because the record is so freaking fast. Like that you are down to the wire where seconds matter. So if you're spending your time farming up, trying to get more items, like if you've watched the Risk of Resources Gauntlet, the competitive speedruns, like these guys would still be farming up. They'd still be trying to get power, as they should, because they don't need to like go extremely fast, because they don't need to take that risk. Because the risk is if you go super fast but you don't get any more damage items and the other guys take like an extra minute per stage but get extra damage, they're gonna beat you. That time is gonna make up for itself, right, when they get the damage. But I'm not competing against anybody. We're not just going for the fastest time in that same run with the same RNG. We're going for the fastest time against the best possible run, the world record, right? All I'm trying to say is that when I spawned into stage 3 here, I took a big risk farming for a single chest. Luckily, it worked out because it's a delicate watch. Boom, GG. That's 20% extra damage. That actually made the difference on this run too. Like, so many of these little things made a big difference. Definitely the best one here. This is a very scary fight. Zai Construct is the worst boss for a speedrun. The Wandering Vagrant is the best boss for the speedrun. The worst boss easily is the Zai Construct, because on Eclipse, everything is twice as fast. Yeah, they have 50% movement speed and 50% cooldown reduction, which equates to double attack speed. So they attack twice as fast. So Zai Construct zips and zags all around. He shields himself. You can't shoot through the shield. It's a terrible boss. Luckily, I have a ton of damage, so it doesn't really matter. We take him out, no problem. Normally, that would have been a very scary fight. Fuel cell from the TP is huge. Huge. When you do have a skip and you have a good amount of damage, getting a fuel cell is like literally the best item you can get from the Watch this. Watch this chain train. The fuel cell is the best you can get because it saves you so much time with getting 2+ vases every time. Oh gosh, fuel cells amazing. Watch this chance right now. This is the big. Oh! Armor piercing round and behemoth like that. It's safe to say the run would not have been the run without that right there. That chance shrine RNG, absolutely massive. I took a risk here. The reason why I vase, by the way, is because I have a fuel cell. Normally you want to, once you do have your vase, you want to save it for the next stage, because when you spawn in, you're probably going to spawn as far away as possible from the teleporter. So you want to vase across the map to the teleporter, and it saves you like 30+ seconds. That's why getting the vase is so important, because the earlier you get it, the more time it saves. Remember when I said at the start of the video where like losing that 20 seconds to check that gunner drone was terrible? You can save 20 to 30 seconds every single stage when you get the vase. At the point and then past that, it's so powerful, and especially with a fuel cell. But I vase here just to save like an extra couple seconds. So like the chance shrine's not too far away, but I have a fuel cell, so why wouldn't I do it, right? So I saved like literally 2 seconds or something right there. Hit the chance shrine, armor piercing round, brilliant behemoth, massive freaking pickups, man. Absolutely gargantuan pickups. I can't overstate that at all. Like the Shattering Justice, you might be saying, is pretty good. The Symbiotic Scorpion's pretty good. The Behemoth is the single best legendary item to get from the Mythics fight, period. Tesla Coil, maybe could compare. I don't think so, actually, because you're just not going to be in range for the Tesla Coil. Nah, Behemoth has to be the best. The only downside to Behemoth is that it doesn't affect non-proc coefficient items. So your Ice Band and your Fire Band have 0 proc coefficient. The Behemoth does not scale them at all. But essentially, it's 60% more damage on your auto attacks and your Ballista, which is fantastic. And it really helps with the ad phase. That's the most important thing. Tesla Coil obviously helps a lot with the ad phase as well. Personally, I would take the Behemoth any day over any other legendary for the speed run. Maybe if you had like a ridiculous run with ATGs with any amount of poly loots and some attack speed and crit, then yeah, maybe a Clover would be, absolutely gargantuan for that. Anyway, Brilliant Behemoth, fantastic, like the best legendary to get from that shrine. And on top of that, icing on the cake, we got another armor piercing round. So we're now at 3 armor piercing rounds, 2 ice bands, a watch, and a Behemoth with a fuel cell and a base. And we're at 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Just put that in perspective. Again, if you play Risk of Rain 2, maybe you played it casually, done a few runs, maybe your friends play it so you know about it. I am on stage 4, hitting the teleporter to go to stage 5 at 8 minutes and 55 seconds. Now, it's kind of funny because the time doesn't actually matter in the speedrun. It literally just comes down to the loot. How fast you can go doesn't matter. I could have gone a little faster than this probably. I mean, maybe not because the damage probably. Anyway, you need the RNG. So being at this point in the run, my heart was pumping. My heart was beating, man, I got excited. I was like, this is the run. This has to be the run. As soon as we get that behemoth, I'm like, I know I have the damage. I definitely have the damage, and I have the fuel cell with the vase. Like, this is the freaking run, man. For reference, I was shooting for arriving on stage 4 anywhere from 9 to 10 minutes. Closer to 9 than 10. But if I was anywhere between 9 and 10 minutes, I know it was a solid run. Not a great run, but a solid run. I was on stage 4 and I hit the TP before 9 minutes. So not only are we making excellent time, we have the loot. I know this is the run, man. I feel it. I'm like, yes, dude. Yes, I know this is gonna be it. Actually, this TP was pretty sketchy if I remember. So we have a magma worm, which is a pretty scary TP. This is not a good spot for a magma worm. You don't want a bunch of terrain around it because he will spawn like those magma orbs as he comes through the terrain. I mean, he spawns them regardless, but having a lot of terrain around so I can't move horizontally as much, not a good thing for a magma worm fight. So I make the choice to back out of the TP here. Now it's gonna cost me a couple seconds of charging the TP, but I know in the grand scheme of things, it's way safer, way safer. The downside of going this fast is that if you make like one mistake, you're probably gonna die because the enemies are still gonna do massive damage. And if you don't have any AoE like gasoline or ukulele, you're gonna have a lot of enemies in the TP. You're gonna have a lot of freaking enemies. So I know that, so I make the choice to back out here. Luckily, we kill both Braxton Trapsters right there. The magworm's like one shot, boom, kill the magworm, no problem. The Gup was kind of scary too. This is actually a huge pickup as well. Molten Perforator. Now, normally Molten Perforator is really strong, but when you're speedrunning, for the world record at least, and you're going to Mithrix, it's not super good on Mithrix. It's definitely good. Like, it's way better than a lot of other TP items. I'm absolutely happy to see a Molten Perforator in these runs, compared to other boss items especially. But if you compare it to like another Fireband or an ATG or something, I probably would prefer those. But Molten Perforator is still really nice, and you'll see it come in clutch on the ad phase. It does a lot of freaking damage. So here's a choice I had. So you see me line up my vase. If I have a fuel cell on a vase, I usually hit it when the TP says about like 80%. Once I get to like 77+%, or like between 77 and like 82, I'll hit my vase on an item that I want to go get. By the time this thing expires, I will have gotten over there, looted the item, and come back to the TP. And I want to do it as close as possible to the expiration, as little time possible before the charge comes back for the next stage. Remember, it's all about the next stage. You need to vase immediately to go to the teleporter. If you don't time this right, you can either lose your vase on the way back to the teleporter, like here when you're looting, and that's terrible, or you wait too long to use it, and then there's too much time until it recovers its cooldown for the next stage, so you just shafted your next stage. Anyway, but I make the choice to not go loot that chance shrine, because what are the odds that 2 chance shrines hook me the heck up in one run? Dude, we had a chance shrine that gave us a brilliant behemoth and an armor piercing round. Are we really gonna get a better chance shrine than that? No, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm leaving. I'm at 10 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm gonna get to stage 5 before 11 minutes. I'm out of here. Maybe I could have looted that chest that was right next to the TP. That wasn't that far. So this could have been really bad. This gives me PTSD. We have had, not really, that's a joke. Dude, we have had so many runs where the Void Seed just cucks us. I'm not joking. Like, I've had runs, type Void Seed chat. Look at this. 3. We have had 3 Void Seeds on multiple stages. Void Seeds can actually just straight up end your run right there. So this zone, anything in that zone is not interactable until you clear every single Void enemy on the map. Any interactable, any chest, multi-shop, the teleporter cannot be, actually you can hit the teleporter. That's the exception. You can hit the teleporter. The main reason why this sucks is because this zone does scaling damage based on how much time you're in the zone. So if the TP was like on the outskirts, I maybe could have done it, but luckily it doesn't matter. So that was actually a really good sponsor for stage 5. I killed that Lemurian there because Lemurians are very dangerous on stage 5 teleporter. Dude, watch this. Look at that. The first shot. Woo! I literally killed him in one ballista. Look at this. Look at this. Boom! Oh my, dude, our damage was so good, man. Watch this. Hold on. Watch this. Boom! 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 And what's our TP loot? Dun, 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 dun. You can hear me. We're gonna get the fire bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait, hold on. The Fireband is one of the most important items aside from the skip because of the final phase of Mithrix where he sucks in all your loot. Fireband can bypass that phase, and you'll see me do it at the end of the run here. The fact that we got 2 ice bands, a molten perforator, a literally I didn't even realize this until now. Every single teleporter item was good. Not only that, like best in slot almost. And with this setup, I think the Perforator is better than the ATG, honestly. Because again, I said at the start, I preferred Ice Bands over Fire Band for the Mythics fight. Fuel Cell, it's essential. And the Molten Perforator, this is like best in slot teleporter loot. That's why I'm not interested in speedrunning this anymore, because this run is like insane for the RNG. And I'll talk about the previous world, or the current world record, how crazy that run is for the RNG as well. Like it's so crazy, man. Suffice to say, this loot is insane. Void Touch Gup, he's like full HP. Normally this is a very scary enemy for the teleporter. Boom, just one shot him, you know, just one shot him. It's all good. We just finish our teleporter here. We go to stage 5. I'm not gonna loot anything. Obviously, I know I 100%. I know I have the damage. There's no point. You save all the time. I have 2 charges on base. This is why Fuel Cell is so important right here. So you spawn in, and it takes about 20-ish, 25-ish seconds to get from the spawn all the way up to this part of the ramp, just by walking and blinking normally on the Huntress with no movement speed items. I have 1 goat hoof, so I have a tiny bit of movement speed, but I have a Fuel Cell, so I bypass that entirely. The vase just saved me like an additional 20 to 25 seconds. That mistake we made on stage 1, the vase just recovered that for us. I know that guy's kind of scary, so I used my Ballista there. He ran out of the fire band there for the last tick. Might have been a threat there with the bomb. We dodged that, no problem. This is a very important start for the fight right here. When you walk into the Mithrix arena, there is a threshold. It looks like a sidewalk almost. It's like an inner ring, but it's not like the actual gate that you come through on the Mithrix fight. I'll go back on me. So right here, see that right here? That is the threshold to start the fight, essentially. It's like somewhere around there. When you cross that threshold, you have about 5 seconds before Mithrix comes down and is able to be damaged. The cutscene lasts longer than the 5 seconds. So when Mithrix lands, he's actually ready to go. All of his hitboxes ready to go. The goal with Huntress is to aim your ballista so that when he comes down, you will hit him with your ballista. If you have a fire band, this is where it comes in. Look at all that damage. I got all of that damage, about 3k, 2k damage for free. And my ballista is recovering cooldown. The moment you press the button to use ballista, the cooldown starts. So you essentially get a free ballista's worth of damage with, again, that's look at that. I think we killed Mithrix in what, 4 ballistas total? So we basically got 25% extra damage. It's incredibly important to hit this for anyone that's playing this game or playing Hunters in general. Like, if I miss this, it's about a 20% damage loss, which is massive. So the fight's actually pretty clean up until this point. Phase 1 Mithrix doesn't really pose a threat to anyone except for that right there, a dash attack. Mithrix out of a slam can dash up to 3 times and then hit you. So he can go from a good, like, I don't know, 20 meters away from you to like right on top of you in an instant. So Chimera phase, ad phase. This is honestly where the speedruns are made or broken. This ad phase is ridiculous. Look at my items. I have a Topaz Brooch and a Monster Tooth. Those are on kill items. So this gives me a little bit of defense. It gives you a shield, and this one gives you actual health, but you have to pick up that little green orb. See that right there? You have to pick that up, and it gives me like 10 health. It'll give me like 10 or 15 health. I don't know. It's basically terrible. The Cautious Slug is the best healing item to have, and the Repulsion Armor, because it just reduces all damage by a flat 5. The reason why the ad phase is so dangerous are these little puppers right here, the flying chimeras. These are all chimeras. They have a Gatling gun, which has basically no spread at all. I think it shoots three streams of bullets at you with no bloom, and it has a swivel speed that is basically faster than your survivor. You have to line of sight them, and I know this. So the name of the game is to get behind a piece of cover, let the flying ones come to you, and then pick them off one by one. It's a target-rich environment, and I have no AoE items, except for the Perforator, which Perforator actually does a lot of damage to that guy right there. Look at the health bar. I'm pointing at my screen, sorry. That Perforator just instantly killed that guy. Perforator, the amount of damage it does on the ad phase is crazy. Crazy. So good. There's a mistake right there. I got hit by a little roly-poly, and we'll explain the roly-polies a little more here in a second. Don't you worry. I wasn't really worried about them the entire fight. They were kind of like out here, not anywhere close to me. It's mainly just the flying guys you have to worry about. I come around the corner, I get chunked by the flying guy, and then all of a sudden, boom, I lost my elixir to a roly-poly. No big deal. Elixir's not that important. It's essentially a shield for your watches. The elixir does not save you from death. It actually just pops if you go below the threshold. So it's not like a Dio's best friend, a free life. Oh, right there was bad too. So what happened here? What happened here is I finished the ad phase. So these count as bosses. So these 3 armor-piercing rounds are 20% damage to bosses each. So this is 60% damage to bosses on phase 2 of the Mythics fight. The ads that have the Lunar Chimera tag, they count as bosses. Except when you finish. And once you finish the fight, the game has a chance to spawn more chimeras instantly. It can spawn these roly-polies the exact instant you're finished with ad phase, and they no longer have the boss tag. So I lose 60% damage here, and it spawns not 1, but 2 roly-polies instantly. So I know I have to, 3. Actually, it spawned 3, because I just killed 1. There's 1, there's 2. And this is honestly what seals the deal here. On phase 3 of the Mythics fight, when he slams the ground with his hammer, which is normally not a dangerous attack on phase 1, phase 3 makes it very dangerous because it shoots out a bunch of shockwaves. We know that he's gonna come in, he's gonna do a slam. Here's a slam right here. I have to make a choice. If I blink to the right, I'm dead. Can't blink to the right. I had to blink in that direction And I tried to aim it. We're on 2x speed here. I tried to aim it so I would not get hit by this puddle. Oh, by the way, if I didn't explain the roly-polies enough, if you didn't think they were that bad, they leave an on-death, big old fire damage puddle on the ground right here. It does so much damage. So this little bar right here is representing my threshold for the watch. The delicate watch is 20% damage, remember? 20% damage on that bad boy. If my health reaches that bar or lower, it breaks and it becomes useless. So I had to blink out of the hammer slam attack. I thought I might be able to blink it across. I guess I should have made it more to the left there. Whatever. I lose my watch. Not a big deal, though. Not a big deal because minus 20% damage when I'm still a good 2 minutes. I should have explained this earlier, but because the record is so fast and you need 60 seconds to charge the ship at the very end of the run, you have to add 60 seconds to whatever your time is when you kill Mithrix. Basically, if Mithrix is not dead by 18 minutes, roughly, you're not going to get the record. Like 19 if you have a literally perfect vase or something. Time, it's getting down to the wire right here. We're at 16:20. We have a minute and a half to finish up Mithrix. Look at his health bar as the final phase, and we still have the actual final phase, the sucky item phase. So I have to play this as aggressively as possible. So losing that watch is bad, but I know it's not the end of the world because I have a minute and a half and I only lost 20% damage out of all of this. That's in the grand scheme of things, that's not that big of a deal. So I'm not panicking that much here. I don't think I'm panicking at all at this point. The problem is right here. This little guy right here. So I'm dodging this guy. I know he's a big threat. So when Mithrix, he jumps away, okay, he's gonna slam down right here in the center and he's gonna emit an omnidirectional shockwave. You have to jump over that shockwave. I don't have a Hopu feather, an extra jump. I do not have that. Not that big of a deal, but if you mistime this, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna die, the run's over. And this guy's also very dangerous because look at my health bar. Can you see my health bar? I have 79 health. I am essentially one shot, and I know that. I'm actually putting my face right here. Here comes the shockwave. We jump over it, then I get shot from behind by the roly-poly, goes right through me, 50 damage. We are now at 31 HP, 31 health. And you have about 5 seconds, and then he starts pizza phase, or revolving doors, or whatever you want to call it. If you get hit by that, you're dead. If you get hit by anything really in this fight, you're dead. So here he goes. He's starting the pizza phase. He stands still the entire time. You have about 10 seconds to get free damage on Mithrix, so long as you know how to dodge pizza, which it's not that big of a deal. Pick one direction and move. I didn't really pick until I saw it coming in, but remember that roly-poly's right there. The roly-poly's right there. Revolving doors going clockwise. So the guy decides to shoot in the direction that I'm strafing, and that's the run. That's the run. We lost it right there. Remember, I'm trying to kill this guy. I know this guy is a massive threat because he was spawned at the end of the ad phase and he doesn't count as a boss enemy, so he takes 60% less damage. So I know that I have to kill this guy. Watch my aim. Look, he's like half health too. 1, 2, 3. Look at the health bar. 4. And then that one hits and I'm like, okay, the next shot is enough to kill him. Now, experienced Huntress players, what you'll see, you'll shoot an arrow and you'll throw your glaive right after that. If the arrow doesn't kill it, the glaive will still finish it off at the end. For some reason, I didn't glaive here, and I'm almost certain it was because I knew the shockwave was coming down. And when you use your glaive ability, it lingers you in the air. So I would have lost all the height, and then the shockwave would have hit me 100%. So I had to make a very tough choice here. To glaive or not to glaive. I think I made the right choice ultimately, which was to not glaive. Look, so look at the health bar. Look at the health bar. Look at that. I thought that might have been enough to kill him, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to shoot one more and turn away and look at Mithrix, because Mithrix is the threat now. He's coming back down to the center. I know time's a ticking. Here comes the shockwave. I think I jumped it. Yeah, I definitely jumped it. The blink didn't matter. I basically played that about as well as I could have, except it doesn't matter, because that little guy's still alive. Unfortunately, my damage was not enough on the roly-poly. He's still alive. Here comes Mithrix. He's going to start pizza phase. And then the roly-poly is obscured by all this crap on my screen. I'm like, oh gosh. And then he shoots in the direction that I am currently strafing. And that's it. GG. That's it. So we got a +5. +5 means the run is done. +5 for the gauntlet speed running. It just adds 5 minutes into your end game timer. You cannot recover that run. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the best RNG possible. You will not be able to save 5 minutes. I have about another minute and 20 seconds to kill Mithrix here if I didn't +5. And I actually do kill him in time. We do a lot of freaking damage. So I don't get hit anymore. Oh, dude. And we get the skip. This was massive. This was massive. This was actually so close to not working. 1925 HP. The goal with the final Mithrix phase to skip it is he has to have enough health to go to 0 while he has, I think, 80% damage reduction. It might be more. Turned out it was very close. Like, extremely close. I hit all my shots, all the fireband. It's good to go. But you can see here, the fireband is ticking for 35 damage. I think I kill him. And it goes away on, wait, it went up to 37. Oh, the adaptive armor. Wow, that actually ended up clutching it, I think. I think I had, yeah, the fireband disappears right here. Right here, it's gone. Wow. How the skip works is if you damage Mithrix with enough damage on the very first frame of him spawning in. For some reason, that bypasses the trigger of him sucking all your items and becoming immune to all damage. So you keep all your items, and you get to damage Mithrix for free. There's no downtime whatsoever. So I know that when my ballista's up, Boom, smack him. He's dead. This is actually really bad too. I'm very upset. You can see I'm very upset. I threw the record there, obviously, by dying. That +5, that was the world record. This was the world record run, 100%. Here's actually a really, I think I got the worst portal RNG possible. Some portals are like 400 meters away from the ship with a clear line of sight. So all you have to do is take that portal, jump up, and then you can look at the ship, use your vase, because the vase needs a solid object to connect to at the other side, but you still have to like solidly connect. I don't know how it works. Doesn't matter. It was a sussy motion. Anyway, you can't just vase anywhere and expect to go through. It doesn't like go through walls. Some portals are like 400 meters away, 300 meters away. Others are 900 meters away. The general rule of thumb for your portals is if they go counterclockwise, it's typically a good portal. There is an exception, and it's this one. It's this one. This guy's going counterclockwise. I'm like, okay, it's pretty far away, but it's my only portal. I was like, where are my other portals? What is this? I'm 863 meters away from the ship. You know, it's not a big deal. I have double vase, and actually it's a pretty good spawn because if I turn right here, look, I know that I can get a little bit of line of sight here. I know I'm taking a risk here. So the bridge to get back to the ship is like right here, but I thought I might be able to hit the bridge. It's really hard to see. Obviously, it's super foggy. It's super far away. I couldn't really see it. So I'm trying to vase right here. It looks like I'm doing nothing right here. I'm trying to vase. I'm trying to hit the vase. I know it's not coming. So I'm like, screw it. I missed. I'm just going to vase right here. I have a fuel cell. So we're going to hit this very solid object. Go right here. Luckily, I hit this one. If I missed this one, that would have been terrible. I thought I might have hit that rock. If I hit this rock as well, dude, that was actually a very close phase. So I'm very lucky I bypassed those. Right on the ship. Bada bing. Bada boom. Takes 60 seconds to charge it up. Final time without the +5 was 1907 without the +5. So had we not died on that ball, would have been the world record. Hopefully you enjoy this analysis. Still have a little bit the emotion as well. Very unfortunate, but I'm done speedrunning Risk of Rain 2 for now. It's very RNG centric. Again, it took me about 3 months to get here. Not in terms of like learning or anything, but 3 months in terms of the RNG. Is that crazy? I definitely did learn. Like, I think I've figured out what I need to do for the world record. It's been about 2 months. I will say about 2 months, you know, of just resetting over and over and over. And the things you don't see in this video are how, like, it is incredibly rare. I mean, just put it in perspective. I definitely threw some of these runs too, by the way. Like, maybe 5 runs had the damage and the skip. Now, I had plenty of other runs where I had the damage. I probably had like 10 or 15 runs where I had enough damage to get the world record, but I didn't get a skip. So what happens then? You have to reset. If you don't get the vase, you literally cannot get the record. It's that simple. I definitely threw like maybe 5 runs with the vase and the damage, maybe like 3 or 4. I don't know. My point is that out of all of those runs, like 20 to 30. 20 to 30. Let's be honest. We're competitive with the world record. Out of 2 months worth of resetting on stage 1, essentially for the most part, like there's so much RNG involved. I'm done for now. It's not the world record. I'm not gonna say it's the world record, but for me, I know I have what it takes. I'm done for now. I do not want to just reset anymore. I do still enjoy the game, obviously. But hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys watching. Boom. Thank you very much. I'm not done with the stream, boys. I'm just ending the video. All right, something like that. We'll see if that's actually good enough to be an uncut video.